Welcome to the Sports Council.
Winning the MCC district titles, part of that process, it's our first step. Obviously the finale, the ultimate goal is to win a state title.
The council is now in session.
With a personality shaped by being an athlete and a background in mainstream sports media, I found that the stories I was most interested in telling were the ones often overlooked, the ones that might not otherwise be told, the ones that show the intangible and not just the highlight reel. The Sports Council is about highlighting the great, the good, the unique, and everything in between in the Pacific Northwest sports world. I'm Jamie Council. Thanks for joining me.
You're listening to the Sports Council on 1340 ESPN, the Tri-Cities leader in sports.
I'm Coach Manny. I'm the head wrestling coach for Chiawana Riverhawks.
So Manny Plata took over. You kind of took over in an awkward place where Chiawana back to back state wrestling champions. That's kind of surreal. So just talk about the process of you taking over this program, because you took over a state championship team, which is great, but you've turned it into a continual perennial powerhouse.
Yes. To be honest, I didn't know if I was going to take this job. There was a lot of factors going into it. I think the big one was the shoes that I would have to fill. Obviously, when they've won 3 state titles, you're coming into a program that already has a culture built because of their past coach. So it was kind of like, do I come in this program and see what type of kids how they're gonna react to me? Obviously, they're used to Coach Anderson and all the great things that he did. Obviously, he won 3 state titles. So that was the big one for me, was how I wanted to go about this, and if I wanted to try to fulfill those shoes, because when you win 3 state titles, you know, everybody kind of expects that from you as far as the program. So when I came in and I decided to take over, I had to have those expectations for myself, just to keep the tradition going, the winning culture that Coach Anderson built. And so last year I was fortunate enough to win my first state title here and to keep the tradition going. So now we're 4-time state champions, aiming for our 5th. And so I felt the kids took to me well. The leaders that we have been excellent. They've done everything I've asked. Even the underclassmen, they've done everything that I've asked from them as well. And so I honestly feel like we have a great shot at winning our 5th state title this year. So I'm excited. I'm excited that I took the chance on myself and believed in myself to keep the tradition going, because, you know, when you're trying to keep a winning tradition like this, obviously you can have self-doubt, but I've always believed in my coaching style, the ability that I have, and the gift that I was given to be able to coach and connect with the kids. And so I decided to believe in myself and keep this journey going, and keep this winning tradition that Chiawana has built, keep it going.
Yeah, and last year winning a state title where, like you said, it's a hard program to turn over, 3-peat state titles, and then you have new kids, you're a new coach, so everything's kind of stacked against you, even though you're taking over a winning program. Winning a state title is your first year as head coach and proving all those doubters wrong, which was a big theme last year, talking to you leading up to that. How did it feel just to be able to complete that task and, like you just said, prove yourself right?
I don't mind people not giving me the credit, because at the end of the day, it's the kids that put in the work, they put in the time, they do all the extra stuff. All I do is just guide them and give them some guidance and advice, and hopefully they take that and they go with it. So at the end of the day, you know, I enjoy winning, and the kids, at the end of the day, it's for the kids. If people want to doubt me, if they don't believe in my coaching and all that, and if they want to say those are Jack's wrestlers, that's fine with me, because at the end of the day, we're all family. We're all connected. You know, Jack supports us still. Jack's in here every now and then. He's still giving me advice. In the halls, I'll stop and talk to him, and hey, what'd you do with this? Hey, what'd you do that? And he's been so helpful. So that's been a blessing in disguise. Is Jack's still here, and he's still part of the program, helping me out. And so, but at the end of the day, it's all for the kids. The kids are the ones putting in the work. The kids are the ones that are winning the state titles. They go out on the mat, and they're the ones wrestling. I don't wrestle. I'm not making the weight anymore, so it's really on them, and it's kudos to the kids for buying into what I asked them to, and just also keeping what they've learned from Jack as well, and taking both the best worlds and running with it. And I think that's what's made us successful last year, and I feel like that's what's going to make us successful this year. And I honestly think we got a great shot at bringing home our 5th state title.
Fiore Financial, LLC, helping solve financial puzzles. From proactive financial strategies, retirement planning, income generation strategies, asset protection to life insurance products, Fiore Financial can help.
My name is Jeanette Fiore. Life has many twists and turns. I help business owners and professionals be strategic and intentional when building and protecting their wealth. I help solve financial puzzles. Let Fiore Financial, LLC assist you in your financial goals. Give us a call at 509-528-7097 for a complimentary 30-minute consultation, or visit us at fiorefinancial.net.
Hey, if you have hard water, then you need soft water specialists. With their new Symphony system, you'll get great tasting, healthier water that will leave your clothing softer and brighter, your dishes cleaner, and it will extend the life of your appliances. With more than 30 years combined experience treating residential and commercial hard water problems, Soft Water Specialists offers peace of mind. To transform your water from H2O no to H2O yeah, call Soft Water Specialists for a free consultation or visit mysoftwater.com today.
If you've got a winery, brewery, or dairy, why buy industrial parts and supplies from across the country? Central Industrial Sales is your local source for supplies and equipment for the dairy, food processing, winery, and brewing industries. We specialize in custom fabrication, industrial cleaning equipment, sanitary fittings, valves, pumps, chemicals, and many other supplies. Everything's available through our website, by phone, or by dropping by our office. Call 509-375-4032 or find us at centralindustrialsales.com.
Have Christine Connolly help you achieve your housing goals and be your genie in a bottle.
As you wish. Buying or selling a home is a huge decision. You need someone that you trust and trust that they know what they're doing. As a second-generation realtor, I know how to anticipate the needs of my clients, and I make sure I'm up to date on the latest real estate trends in the Valley, along with buying programs that clients can take advantage of. I go above and beyond for all of my clients.
Contact Christine Connolly online or on Facebook at As You Wish Houses.
Part of Coldwell Banker Tomlinson.
You're listening to 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. Today we're catching up with Chiawana Wrestling, the Riverhawks preparing for the MAC Classic this weekend.
You guys are looking for your 5th state championship in a row, but you just won an MCC championship, so that's pretty great to be able to do it at all levels. So how do you guys approach that, where you want to win a state championship, but you're not going to, I guess the saying is, what is it? You're not going to take Rome in a day or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. You know, and everything's a process with us. Obviously, winning the MCC district titles, part of that process. It's our first step. This is the finale. The ultimate goal is to win a state title. But I think what helps is I've scheduled some of the toughest tournaments in the state of Washington and in Idaho and in the Northwest. So I think that's what really helps us and helps us keep us humble. We've also wrestled Toppenish and some of the best teams in the state. So obviously we've won some, and we've also taken our share of losses, which is good. I feel like if you're able to go an undefeated season with the schedule that I put out, you deserve all the kudos, everything, because you're probably beating some of the best kids in the state, not just in the state of Washington or Idaho, but also in the U.S. You know, we got some kids that are nationally ranked that we wrestle against, and you know, we battle with them. Some of them are going Division I, and obviously we've taken our lumps and we've won some matches, but I think wrestling some of a tough schedule allows us to stay humble and allows us to continue to work and know that the work is not done. Obviously winning an MCC is excellent, but at the end of the day, it's not our ultimate goal. Our ultimate goal is to get better day by day and peak at the right time, and I feel like that's what we're doing. We're peaking at the right time, so I'm excited for these next 2 weeks and see where we end up at the end of the state tournament.
And it's tough, even though you guys are one culture, you're getting new wrestlers in, and that's why last year was so tough of can you do it without Jack's son,
Yes.
And so kind of having those wrestlers leave. So this year, you guys won MCC. You're looking for your 5th state title in a row. Talk about some of the wrestlers that you have this year that are putting in that work and contributing to the Chiawana wrestling program.
We got a lot of great wrestlers here. I think that's what obviously makes us so good. We have, I believe, 10 returning state participants, with 7 of them being state medalists. We have a returning state champion in Dayton Johnson. We have Jordan Tobias, who took 3rd last year, and we have a plethora of other guys who placed in the top 8 last year. So they've really taken their leadership role, and they've really helped these underclassmen get up to the level of where they're at. So I truly believe we can have another 13 or 14 guys make it to the state tournament this year. And that's kudos to the boys and the off-season work that they put in. I know Dayton and Jordan wrestled a lot of the off-season, and we also had a bunch of kids go to summer camps with us. We went to Oregon State, we went to Center Circle, we did the Pasco Best of the West duels, or Redneck duels, and so it's kudos just to all the kids and just buying into the culture and continue to wrestle throughout the off season. And I truly believe that's what makes us good, is our work is never done. When the state tournament's over, we take a 2-week break, and they're ready to get back in it for freestyle and Greco season. And so I think all that extra work that they put in the off season is really what's paying off. Obviously, we work hard in the room, but to allow us to have the success that we have, it's all the off-season work that the boys have put in, and I can't thank them enough, because without that, it's hard to keep this winning tradition going and keep this culture going. And so it's kudos to the boys that continue to want to work and continue to want to keep that winning tradition and continue to want to win a state title for themselves, but also do it for the people that have come before them, because obviously they've built the foundation. We just got to continue to put the bricks and stack bricks and build the house as big as we can get it, so it's enough to fill all those state titles that we would like to win here.
And a fun story that kind of ties into that is you talk about Dayton Johnson, but Darian was winning a state title just a few years ago. So it's kind of fun because it is a brotherhood, but it's been a true brotherhood seeing those stories within the program.
Exactly, and they've had multiple brothers and families come in through here, winning state titles, winning state medals, being state participants. So I know the younger brothers are trying to outdo the older brothers, and so they're working hard, and so they're pushing the boys, saying, nope, this is how my brothers and their team did it. We want to be better than them. And so it's a competition within itself and within the families, and so I enjoy it. That's what I ask them to do, is just compete as hard as they can go, whether it's competing with your teammates in the room or competing against your family and your brothers, saying, hey, like obviously with the Johnsons, it was, hey, Dayton wants to win more state titles than Darian. Darian's in college now, doing excellent, so they're trying to be better. And obviously you had the Stovers, and then when Isaiah was here, he had his uncle and his dad, and so it's like you said, it's a true brotherhood. And obviously you had the Sisneys, the Hendricks are now. It's enjoying because now you compete against each other as family, but they bring that intensity into the wrestling room, and it just elevates everybody else that doesn't have the brothers. So they take, okay, this is what it's like. And we do have some of the older brothers that eventually their younger brothers will be here in a few years. So now they're going to try to set the tone so their younger brothers can continue. Oh, my older brother, their team did this. I want to be better, and I think that's what's making this program go and their culture go is just that brotherhood that they've been able to build amongst each other.
It's a true brotherhood, and you guys live and breathe wrestling. You just were saying 2 weeks after the season, it's okay, back on the mat. It's true for the coaches too. You guys are there with it. You guys, even though you're not on the mat, you're still waking up at 5 or 6 o'clock. You're still motivating them. Where does your love for wrestling come from?
My love from wrestling started just with my uncles and my dad. They just, from day one, when I first stepped on the mat, their support has been tremendous. They never missed any of my high school matches. Obviously, my uncles were my coach in high school, but my dad was the cameraman. He videoed every single match that I ever wrestled, and they still support me till this day. My dad, I don't think he's missed any of my dual matches. He was at my district for districts. He was even in our team championship photo. So that's special to me, is having my family there, and just that love and support that they've given me has allowed me to continue and pass it on to the other generation. And I'm in the wrestling room 24/7. I live, breathe, and wrestling. Wrestling's pretty much made me the person who I am. It's the foundation of the character, the hard work, the discipline, and just the love, the passion that I have. It's allowed me to pass it on to the kids, and I truly feel that the kids, they feel it, they gravitate to it, and so they're willing to put in the work for me because they understand that I'm in here 24/7 for them. Obviously, right now, these last few weeks, we're going 3-a-days. They do morning weights. We do a technique session, and then they'll come back for a harder drill session. And I'm in here 24/7. I tell the kids, man, I live in here. And I'm just thankful to have a great support system. Even my kids and my fiance, they've allowed me to understand, like, hey, dad lives in wrestling. Those 4 months, it's dad, leave him alone. He's got to do what he's got to do. And then, so when the season's over, I try to spend 2 weeks with them, but then I'm back in the mat, and they understand that this is who I am. This is what I love to do. I try to treat all my wrestlers as my own kid, so I'm pushing them and trying to make the best out of them, just like I would for my kids. And sometimes they see it, and sometimes they see, oh, coach is just being mean, coach is just picking on me. But it's the love I have for them. Some people call it tough love. I just call it love. When you love someone, you're going to be honest with them. You're going to be on them, and you're going to try to do whatever you can to make sure that they achieve their goals. And I just have that love, and I just feel like wrestling is the way that I can connect with the kids. And so I just love the sport that it brings. It truly makes men, and also makes women true women. Some of the girls that come in here, they're tough as nails, and so I love to see everybody succeed, and I love wrestling, and so I'm in here 24/7. This is what I do for forever. This is why I came to Chiawana. Obviously, I want to help kids in the school, but I came to Chiawana because of the wrestling program, and know that I can impact a lot more kids. When you have 100 kids on your team, it allows me to impact more kids, and that's what I love to do, is just impact kids' life. But I do it through wrestling. That I've had multiple coaches and workout partners, and everybody have a true impact on me. So I want to do that to others, and I love wrestling. Wrestling is who I am, and I just love it.
It definitely emanates from you. You can tell just what you put into the kids. It obviously shows on the mat, but it also shows through you. And kind of deviating, something that I've noticed, my little brother wrestled, and so I've always kind of been half a foot in the wrestling community from a younger age, is girls wrestling, at the high school level and even at the college level. You're seeing with Title IXs that colleges, it's becoming a bigger platform for females. I know that back in the day, at least in California where I grew up, if you were a girl and wanted to wrestle, you had to wrestle with the boys, and some of them wouldn't wrestle you. So talk about the female wrestlers. Obviously, you guys have some great female wrestlers come through Chiawana, but just that whole platform for girls in wrestling, it's really changed over the past decade.
It truly has, and I love it. Like I said, I love wrestling, so the more people wrestling, the better it is. But girls wrestling has definitely taken off. It's probably one of the fastest growing sports right now in the nation, and so that's super exciting. When I first started coaching high school wrestling, I started off with the girls with Desiree Zavala and a few of the girls from Grandview that end up winning a lot of state titles, winning national titles, and going to college and wrestling. So that's where I started. I started off with them, and then obviously I've worked with a lot of the boys, but girls. Some of those girls are some of the toughest girls in the country and in the state. They are just feisty. They're tough. Some of them love the sport just like the boys, and I love to see just wrestling evolve, but to see the girls wrestling evolve, it's truly special. I know, like you said, in the past when there was guys against the girls, guys would forfeit because they wouldn't want to wrestle the girls, because it's tough because you're in a lose-lose situation. Like, you lose to a girl, you're going to get made fun of. You beat the girl, and people are going to be like, oh, you beat a girl, you should have. So, and it's no fun for the girls, because, they want to be treated equal. And so when they're out there in the past and you got guys that don't want to wrestle them, they don't feel very confident. They don't believe in themselves. And so now to have a lot of girls, where now girls have their own team, girls are competing against girls, girls are wrestling in the state tournament against girls, girls are now having their own national tournament. I love it. I love wrestling, and so the more people out, it's the better. But I give a lot of kudos to the girls, because to some of the girls that stuck it out when they only had to wrestle boys, and they're still wrestling, and they're doing excellent. Like the girl coaches that I have, obviously I coach Desiree Zavala, and now she's the head coach at Big Bend Community College, and so now she's doing great things, and so she's coming in here and she's recruiting girl wrestling. So now, just to see that is awesome. It brings a lot of joy to my heart. Just girls are tough, and they're just I love to see them wrestle and to see them have their own spotlight and have their own state tournament. They deserve it. They work just as hard as the boys. So it's kudos to them. So all you girls out there, turn out. All you moms and dads, if you got daughters, put them on a wrestling mat. And I don't say more to win a state title, to go to college, but it's good for self-defense. Especially now in this world, I always try to tell people, like, this world is a crazy world we live in. So if your daughter knows how to defend themselves, it's good for them. And so, self-defense is the key. And so, if you're a wrestler, that's the number one self-defense thing. So, you got girl wrestlers, you got women, you bring them out here, and you never know what's going to happen for them. So, I'm enjoying the girl wrestling evolving and being able to showcase what they have and their abilities that they can do too.
As well as with it being a growing sport and a lesser known sport, even if it isn't for the self-defense, maybe you step on the mat and you're like, I love this. There's a lot of opportunities to play and get scholarships at that level, as well as it's also a lose-lose situation for the girls, where it doesn't help build their self-confidence if they have to wrestle boys, because if you win, you wonder, did they let me win? That you have an asterisk next to your win. And then if you lose, of course, you lose. And then you feel bad because you don't want them to make them look bad. So I think it's great, those females that have kind of laid the groundwork of being in those lose-lose situations for everybody to show, hey, we need our own arena. And it's cool that you used to coach girls, so you kind of see it from both sides and increase increases, like you said, the love for wrestling. And wrestling is a very tough sport in so many ways, from, of course, the physical to the mental. Anybody that's good at wrestling, they're different. I'll say, kind of like goalies in hockey. They're different. Talk about what makes wrestling so tough. A lot of my friends are wrestlers, so I'm allowed to say that.
Yes, you're correct. You're correct. I have conversations about this all the time with just parents and just different people who don't know the sport of wrestling. And you got to be, I call it a little crazy to wrestle. Whether you're good or not, you just got to have a little bit of craziness, because say those that aren't as good as the other ones, you got to be in here in the room getting slammed and getting beat up by some of the better kids, and to come back and continue to come back practice after practice. You got to be you got to be mentally tough, but you got to have a little craziness in you. I feel like some of the better wrestlers, they're just a little bit wild, because you got to be mentally tough, physically tough, disciplined when it comes to the weight cut, and sometimes you got to go on extra workouts and do this and do that, and so it's not for your normal people. You're like you said, you're a little different. You're obviously you got to be tough. You come in here day in and day out, and sometimes you're wrestling state champions in our room or state placers, and you're getting beat up constantly, and even our better ones are getting beat up. And so to come in here day after day and wanting to wrestle and get better, and not knowing that, hey, if you're going to get beat up today, if you're going to be the one beating up people, it's tough. So you got to have a little craziness in your body and in your mind. You got to be mentally tough. And so I always talk, wrestlers are a different breed. What we do, I don't believe your ordinary people can do. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of growing pains, because you just never know what's going to happen. So, us wrestlers, we are a little different, and I think that's what makes us special in the long run is our way to be different but normal at the same time.
Well, here at Chiawana, you guys are all crazy. Now looking for your 5th state title in a row.
Yes, we are, and I'm excited. I truly believe if we do what we need to do, I honestly believe that we can be up there at the very end.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You're listening to 1340 ESPN, your Tri-Cities leader in sports. Now we go back to your originally scheduled Seattle sports programming.